The first Slam Dunk, out in theaters, new animated film out of Japan, feature debut of director Takehiko Inoue, based on his own manga that I haven't read. Unlike most of the anime that makes it over here to Polish theaters, this one does not have any elements of fantasy, sci-fi, or even magical realism. It is a very grounded story about basketball. The whole film is framed by a single match being played between two high school league teams. One consists of the underdogs, up and coming players with flaws but also mad ambition to prove themselves. The other are the currently reigning champions of the country. And as they play out the game, the movie occasionally jumps into flashbacks explaining the backstories of the players and providing us with context as to their character, motivations, and what drives them to play. So it's fairly simple, and if I'm being honest, at first I expected the movie to be a little bit different and a little bit more, to use the basketball angle as a vehicle to tell a story about brotherhood and grief, which ties into the main character's story. As it turns out, it only touches on those subjects and tends to focus more on the sport itself. But that doesn't mean it's shallow. Quite the contrary, it just explores different things. It explores the role that sports play in the lives of young men, the competitive rivalry between peers, the camaraderie born when facing the same challenges, the respect towards others around you, the drive to succeed and overcome your own limitations and exceed the expectations of people around you. Also, in some cases, an escape, a coping mechanism for tragedies and trouble in real life. And in that way, exploring all those things, I think that the movie is quite good. Honestly, well thought out, well executed, very thorough in playing with its themes. Also, as far as I can tell, made by people who genuinely love basketball and pay attention to details. It's definitely realistic and grounded, doesn't really contain too many far-fetched or over-the-top elements. It's relatively well paced. If you've asked me right after the screening, I would have said it needs to be shorter. It needs to be trimmed by about 20 minutes. But having thought about it more, I've grown to appreciate the fact that it's kind of patient with its storylines and doesn't just skirt the surface, allowing its characters to really breathe. The music is fantastically eclectic and dynamic, and the animation style itself quite unique, with the backstory scenes done in traditional 2D animation and the game itself with 3D animation. It looks very good, and it's also probably one of the most realistically animated movies I've seen in terms of human physicality. The way the bodies move, the muscles are drawn, the legs and hands behave in the game. Sometimes it really looks like a live action film, and it made me think that maybe some of it was done with the help of rotoscoping, but I don't know. I can't say for sure. If it wasn't, credit to the animators on a job well done. All in all, good movie, especially for people who at some point in their lives played sports competitively. I think they'll find a lot to enjoy here.